It's my pleasure to welcome back the First Lady of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Great.
Yeah, good to see you.
It's great to see you. And I got to see Parker before I came on.
Cutie, isn't he?
Oh, my gosh, he's adorable.
How about that he knows who the president is?
He does. Bill Clinton.
That's right.
So cute.
We've been working on that for like 6 months. I thought when she comes back, I'm going to impress her with that.
Well, you did. And he's so tall, Rosie.
Is he? Well, he's actually about 60 percentile for height.
Oh, he seems tall to me.
Yeah.
For, nearly 3, but not yet quite.
Right. You remember back, I'm sure, Chelsea, that age, just like it was yesterday?
Yeah. It goes by so fast. I think every mother, before she has children, when she hears somebody say, oh, it goes by so fast, you think, oh, yeah, right. It takes so long because there's so many things you have to do for them.
Right.
And now I just wish I could do it all over again.
I'll bet.
Oh, yeah.
Was it tough, your first Mother's Day with her at school?
Oh, it was terrible.
I'll bet it was.
But we went out the week before.
You did.
So I got to spend time with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that made me feel really good. I brought something for Parker and for Chelsea.
What'd you bring?
Chelsea.
What'd you bring?
Well, you couldn't come down to the Easter egg roll.
No.
It's a little late. Maybe you could save it till next year. Don't tell Parker. But here are the Easter eggs that the kids get when they come to the Easter egg roll. And you have to wait in line, but anybody can come, and we'd love to have people come. This year it was actually on the internet, so people could actually see the Easter egg roll.
Kidding.
As it happened, they could tune in on the internet. So here are the eggs.
Well, that's so nice of you.
And here's a little book about the White House Easter egg roll. And I brought enough. I know you've got a child care center here on your show.
We
so
do.
I brought some more for the kids.
Well, that's so sweet.
And,
Thank you very much for that.
welcome.
I hope I can get there next year. It looks like so much fun.
It is fun. Well, Chelsea will still be too young for it, but Parker will be just the perfect age at nearly 4.
I made a big Easter error myself as a parent.
What happened?
Well, I didn't, but the Easter Bunny did. The Easter Bunny mistakenly put the M&Ms in those closable plastic eggs and then hid them outside in the damp, moist night.
Oh, not good.
No.
The bunny must have been very tired.
Yeah, the bunny wasn't thinking too much. I wrote him a letter saying, Bunny, not next year.
Not next
so
year.
there you go.
Oh.
Any Mother's Day memories when Chelsea was little?
Oh, there's so many of them. But, I was thinking, we were in church one Mother's Day, and they had a children's sermon. They had all the little kids up in the front, and so the minister was saying, and what did you give your mother for Mother's Day? And these kids were saying things like, oh, I gave her some flowers, or I made breakfast, the kind of things I would do. I get to my daughter, and she said, life insurance.
Life insurance?
The minister said, life insurance. She said, yes, so she can live forever. But she didn't know what life insurance was.
Isn't that the sweetest?
That was the best story. I love that story.
Did you used to do special things for your mom when you were little?
Well, my brothers and I would make breakfast for her, which was always a disaster.
Right.
Yeah. Always a disaster. The food was never cooked right. But she was such a good sport. She'd always say, oh, this is so nice. We'd bring it to her in bed. I think a couple of years it spilled on the bed. Of course, we'd get on the bed with her. But she just didn't care. She was just glad that we remembered and did something like that for her.
It's the greatest when the kids get together and they all make you something. At the school here, Parker, they all put their handprints, which we're going to do a little later on with some of the kids, which is a great thing. Were you that kind of a mom who kept scrapbooks and records? And
we have scrapbooks. Even in the White House today, I have some of those like clay figures that Chelsea made when she was a little girl in preschool and in the elementary grades or in, Sunday school. So we have these in amongst all of the very fancy kinds of vases and statuary, but they're important to us and we like to see them.
Yeah, did you worry about that when your husband was elected, about Chelsea growing up in the White House with all that stuff around and maybe the lack of getting to be a kid?
Yes, we worried about it a lot, which is why we tried to, have a lot of privacy and why we tried to make it less of a museum and more of a house so that we would, not only have her friends over all the time, but I think I, made the smartest decision when we put a little kitchen table and some chairs in what had been a kind of butler's pantry, and so we could have our meals in there and not in a formal dining room, so that we could just be the 3 of us together.
Right.
Now it's Bill and me, and but we have pictures of little birthday parties we'd have just for the 3 of us, and so we did. We tried to make it a house, which is important whether you're living in an apartment or the White House.
Right. And that's why you got the dog, because Chelsea went away to school.
Yeah, she hates that though. I mean,
She
I've been
does?
replaced by a dog, she says, But the dog has been wonderful. I mean, Socks is a great cat, and Socks has a real noble personality. But Buddy is, madly in love with my husband. I mean, he just throws himself up, both paws go around his neck, he puts his head on my husband's shoulder, and goes like this. So it's been a really nice addition to the family.
But the dog and the cat were fighting, we heard in the press.
Yeah, they didn't get along very well. That's one thing that I can verify to you. They did not get along very well.
That part they got right.
Yeah, they got that right.
What did you do? Did you call in a little doggy counselor for the dog?
We keep trying to get them together. You know, so like we'll be watching, my husband loves basketball games, so you know, it's the NBA playoffs. So we'll be sitting there, we'll have the dog and the cat in the room where we watch. And you know, poor Socks is up on a table like this, you know, and Buddy's sort of sprawled out, and Bill will be saying, look how well they're getting along. So we try to bring them together, you know, a détente of sorts between the two of them.
Right. Now, you're here talking about this wonderful new hotline that was made up for people to find out about childcare.
Right.
And I know Rob Reiner, his organization that tries to emphasize the development of children's brains and emotional stability between 0 to 3, which is, you know, primary importance. And now this hotline that people can call to find out about childcare.
I'm really glad that you and Rob and others are doing this, because I think the more information parents can get about good child care, the better decisions we can make. And sometimes we don't know the questions to ask. I like this brochure because it's got questions that parents should ask. You know, have the people in the daycare center been trained in child care? You know, if they're taking care of 2-year-olds, do they have toys for 2-year-olds or only for 4- and 5-year-olds? I mean, I think that lots of times we don't know what to ask, and people are a little embarrassed kind of cross-examining somebody they want to leave their child with. So I think if everybody asked the same questions, it would become just a matter of course, and nobody would have to be embarrassed about trying to find out the information they need to make a good decision.
I know that this has been a primary concern for you, as well as the president, since way before you were in office, about trying to make the world a little better for kids through, I know, Marion Wright Edelman, who was a
good friend of mine.
Good friend of yours, through the Children's Defense Fund. And I think it's really important. That's, you know, our future, needless to say.
It is. Well, you know, I read an interview with you, Rosie. I think it was in Good Housekeeping. Maybe it's this month or next month's issue. And you said that, you know, you really empathize with kids. And although, you know, I had a real stable upbringing, my mother didn't. She had a pretty tough childhood. And I think my empathy, in part, comes from just imagining, you know, the little girl my mother was and the way she was treated or mistreated. And it just really gets to me, you know, that any child would not have a chance that my child has or your children have to, you know, to be loved and given the attention and discipline the child needs. And I don't think we should rest until we do what we can. And maybe it's just a child in your neighborhood or a child in your family, or maybe it's the child across the street or in the poorest section of town. But if we don't think about our kids, I don't think we're doing right by ourselves and our future. And we're sure not keeping faith with these children who need us.
I agree. I definitely agree. Well, there's right now a phone number coming up here that you can call, as well as a website that you can contact to find out more information about child care areas around you and questions that you might have. I Am Your Child, 1-888-447-3400 is the phone number. Hey, I was wondering, coming up next is our craft corner.
Yes.
You think you'd want to stick around and be crafty with me?
Oh, I would. It would bring back good memories.
All right.
I'd love to.
Let's stick around and make some handprints with kids and show you at home how you can keep a record of your kids' growth. We'll be right back with Hillary Clinton. Our craft corner are Erin, Louie, and Jade. How you guys doing?
Fine.
Yeah?
Oh, we can tell you are.
How old are you, Lou?
6.5.
6.5. How about you, Jade?
6.
And how about you?
7.5.
Are you 6 or 7.5?
7.5.
All right.
How about
And
you,
you,
Erin?
sweetie?
6.5.
6.5. Well, you and Louie are in the same class in school, you told me, right? Good.
Yeah.
And you have the same teacher that Jade had last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you wrote a book report on what?
And on America's First Ladies.
Really? You have any idea what her job is?
I'm a First Lady.
That's right. There you have it.
I'd love to get a copy of your report, Jade.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what we're going to make today?
Handprints.
Handprints, okay?
Handprints.
This
Good.
is a little kit that I got at my local craft store. It's called My Hands. And we're going to show you how you can do it, but you don't need this kit. You can actually do it at home without the kit, okay? What you have to do is you pour the paint into paper plates. We got our plates there? All right, kids, get your hands in. Stick your hand, one hand. Okay, and then with your other hand, go like this, so you get a thin coating. All right, come on, Mrs. Clinton, let's get a little paint there.
Gotta take
Here
my
we
ring
go.
off.
There you go. Oh, I should have took my ring off. What was I thinking? You see, I jumped right in. All right, you got, now let me see, a lot of bumps you got there? You okay? All right, one on each side.
Ooh, you did a good
One
job.
on each side. Go ahead, sweetie girl, one on each side. Okay, back up, clean as can be. Oh my goodness, look what a good job you did. I'm gonna do mine right here. There you go.
Good.
We don't have paper for us. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Flip that guy.
yeah, well-
Yours is right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I love this.
When you get older, if you get in trouble,
Great.
this is what happens too when you get to jail. But that'll never happen to us because we're all good kids, all right? There you go. A little paper towel to wipe it off. Now, right here, there's a little cutout, and there's none for the host. No, I'm okay. There's a little cutout in the middle where you're supposed to put your photo, right, sweetie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put your photo in there, and Erin took a picture of herself, made a circle, and put it in the middle. And I'm going to show you what we did. We painted a regular old picture frame. We painted it blue, and we took Erin's handprints and her photo, and we wrote the age down there. You hang that up, and every year you do a different one with a different photo, and you get to watch your kids as they grow up and become big kids. What do you want to be when you grow up, sweetie?
I want to be a teacher.
A teacher.
Good for you.
How about you?
I want to be an inventor.
Whoa, what are you going to invent?
I don't know yet.
How about you, Jade? What do you want to be?
I want to be a lawyer to get good money out of it.
Did that work? You still have some more? Yeah.
Jade, who's your favorite lawyer? You have a favorite lawyer?
No.
No. Just know they get big money. Yeah. Do you guys have a joke you want to tell before we go?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Louie.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo.
Boo-hoo!
Why are you crying?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, can you read this, Jade, right here, what that says? Read this for everybody. And this is what it says on the My Hands.
My hands. Something you get discouraged because I am so small and always leaves my fingerprints on furniture and walls. But every day I'm growing, I'll be grown up someday, and all those tiny handprints will surely fade away. So here's a final handprint, just so you can recall exactly how my fingerprints looked when I was very small.
Good.
That's right, sweetie girl. And let's hold them up and show everybody. There you go. Let's turn that one around for me there, Mrs. Clinton.
Yeah. Hold
There they are, the frame, and it comes with a picture frame in the kit. Thank you all very much. You did a very good job at the Craft Corner.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for being here. It's lovely to
Thank
see you
you.
again. Give my love to the whole
I
family.
shall indeed.
All right, we'll be right back. Craft Corner, thank you, Erin, Louie, and Jade. Wave to everybody.